If any of the U.S. citizens fighting on the side of ISIS in Syria and Iraq decide to come back home, they will not be prevented. However, they will be carefully tracked. That's according to the director of the FBI, James Comey, who also insisted that there's only about a dozen American citizens fighting on the side of ISIS, despite many suggestions and reports claiming that there could be over 100 of American citizens fighting on the side of the Islamic State. Let's have a listen to what Mr. Comey had to say.
How many Americans are fighting in Syria on the side of the terrorists?
In the area of a dozen or so.
Do you know who they are?
Yes.
Each and every one of them?
I think of that dozen or so I do. I hesitate only because I don't know what I don't know.
With American passports, how do you keep them from coming home and attacking the homeland?
Ultimately, an American citizen, unless their passport's revoked, is entitled to come back. So someone who's fought with ISIL with an American passport wants to come back, we will track them very carefully.
Comey's latest statement comes just little less than a month since the Republican Senator of Texas, Ted Cruz, offered to strip those Americans fighting on the side of ISIS of their American citizenship. He also believed that there is at least 100 of U.S. nationals fighting for Islamic State and different other terrorist factions in Iraq and Syria. However, his bill has not yet met any response within the Congress. There's still a lot of debate happening on the issue of exactly how many U.S. nationals are fighting for ISIS and other terrorist groups in Syria and Iraq, and it seems that some of the security officials and intelligence officials are trying to downplay the number of those involved. There's also a strong suspicion that thousands of European Union citizens could be fighting on the side of ISIS and other terrorist groups as well. In one of the recent news, it was revealed by the McClatchy newspaper that a French intelligence officer defected to ISIS, effectively plotting terrorist attacks on the territory of European states and possibly even the United States. It is unclear what was the rank of the officer, but McClatchy's source revealed that this was one of the highest-ranking defections over the last several decades. Now, adding up more fuel to the fire of speculation as to how many U.S. citizens may be fighting on the side of ISIS is the number of arrests that have been made on the territory of the United States over the past several months. Just in July, a man from Orange County was apprehended in the airport flying to Istanbul, where he was about to join ISIS. And just over this weekend, a 19-year-old man was arrested in the Chicago airport, also flying, also bound to Istanbul, where he was also meant to join ISIS. And all this puts additional strain on the authorities, particularly when they're claiming that there's only a dozen U.S. citizens fighting on the side of the Islamic State. Alexei Rashevsky, RT, reporting from New York City.